Hi, I'm Jordan Huxley Smith, and this is my director's commentary over Reaching Out, a short film that me and some of my fellow classmates produced this year. And you're going to notice that it was produced this year because we couldn't actually go out to physically film this. We had everything planned, we had actors sorted, and we had a set ready. We contacted some local inns and asked if we could record there for a day or two, and they were completely fine with it. We had nearly everything planned, and then obviously the big sick hit this year, the big thing, and it just completely threw a wrench in our plans, and we couldn't film at all. So what the plan was instead was I knew Marley and Neve, who were working on this project, are pretty good artists. I like their styles. I really do like their art, and they said that they could do basically an animatic for it, like say in animation, basically like animated storyboards. Um, and so that was the creative solution that we had to do for this piece. And now, as someone who does love animation, I gotta say, I do actually kind of really love seeing uh, a film that I produce have this sort of aesthetic to it. I do kind of like it, and honestly, it's kind of inspired me to do similar things in the future because it's a really good looking way to do something with limited resources or limited people, limited space that you can go in. So I'm really happy with how that came out, and you'll see more of that in a minute. In regards to the actual short film itself, Reaching Out is a much more emotional story than I've done before. Normally, I focus very heavily on comedies and really silly, absurdist characters. But in this one, I really wanted to make it a lot more humble, a lot more serious. Um, so we had a lot of discussions with all together as a group about how we could make a story that, because originally we wanted it to be quite easy to produce anyway, where we'd only have to get in one actor because we already knew the stresses of having to get loads of actors in to do lots of things, and we knew that we'd be busy, and we didn't even predict the big sick that was coming our way, but it worked out in the end. So we didn't want a lot of actors. We really only wanted a story about two people, if we could, and we wanted to sort of work with that limitation and see how well we could make a story with two people, and how human we could make it. And now, in drama, a lot of my favorite themes come to uh, self-worth and connections with other people, and I really wanted to find those themes in a story about two people connecting in some way. And so we talked, and we came up with this idea of uh, this guy who's a shut-in who doesn't believe in himself very much, who's quite lazy, sort of snarky, and this other character who is the complete opposite of him, who is a very uptight, very serious, um, very literal, almost autistic uh, level of seriousness, um, who would accidentally call this other guy, and they would sort of start a conversation together, and they would start enjoying each other's company despite how different they are, and together they would sort of learn about each other in different ways and inspire each other in different ways. The lazy guy would be inspired to go out and work hard, and the guy who works hard all the time will learn to focus on other things other than just work. And when writing this, it was kind of a the two characters were very much inspired by sort of discussions that I have with myself in my head. You always have those two thoughts in your head battling it out between like constantly trying to work hard or just trying your best just to relax and give yourself some time, some space. And this was kind of a story where it was almost like those two sides of my head conversing with each other and trying to find that balance. And I think that's a really important message. Um, and so I think it was really important that we had this short story that where characters didn't interact at all, like physically, where it was just these two voices, which almost kind of represents the two voices in your head. And to be honest, I think having it animated almost kind of adds to that because I think it means you can project yourself onto the protagonist even more. Uh, yeah, so there's more things I can say, but let's just jump into the actual short film itself, and we'll see what there is to say as we get to it. What do you want?
Oh, hello. I'm Baxter. I work in the marketing department. I'm calling because Alvin said they left some documents with you, the technical department. Who am I speaking to currently?
I'm Alex. So, yeah, obviously this is me playing Alex here. Originally, we did have another actor who was going to do the live action bits, but the first actor we had, um, we were going to record earlier in the year, before COVID even was even an issue to worry about. But unfortunately, he had to. I think he got another filming opportunity on some other show in another country. I forget where, but basically he had to fly out. I wonder how he managed to deal with all that. Hopefully, he managed to finish filming whatever it was he was doing before COVID hit. But he had to fly out and go do that, and that obviously takes more precedence than a student short film, which is fair. You know, good for him. I'm happy for that actor. So then we tried casting another person, but then COVID hit, and we realized it'd be too complicated to try, or too much time to try and find another actor who could do some voice acting quickly. So we just decided that we'd do me, and we already had Baxter's voice actor lined up ready because obviously we weren't ever going to show Baxter's face. We were only ever going to have his voice. So we already searched for a voice actor and already had contacted Keenan, I believe his name is, um, to do the role. So that was all sorted. That wasn't a problem. So that was perfectly fine. Everything that end went pretty smooth. It was a lovely session with him. He was a really great actor to work with. I really enjoyed directing him. He's got a very nice voice. I think it fits the character really well. He's good. And he was just really good to work with. So yeah, so I voiced the protagonist, Alex, in this. And so here's something you'll notice as well is early on we didn't have names for the characters as you often do. You know, I don't think names unless it's like very thematically poignant to the narrative. I don't think names are always that important in works, or at least if they are, they're not like the first things I'd think of. I think of the characters first, and so they were literally called characters A and character B. And so when it came to actually developing names for them, I literally just went, um, Alex and Baxter. So that's the history behind the names of the characters. I am not good at naming things. I will be honest. All my characters' names are are pretty horrible. Alex Jenkins. But I don't work in the.
Well, Alex Jenkins from the technical department. I'm sorry for calling so late, but there was nobody in your offices aside from Claude. You know Claude, right?
Yeah, great guy. Love him.
Anyway, he quickly gave me this number.
I love this idea that Baxter's a guy who just constantly keeps cutting off Alex.
Asked to work at 1 a.m.
I love how the Baxter, Keenan, ended up saying that as well. I'm asked. This is Marley's drawings here. I do love her style a lot. Imagine that. Look, Baxter. Whatever. Her expressions are really good. Under, I don't know, Alvin's desk?
That is an excellent idea. Thank you very much, Alex. You're a very simple thinker. That's good. I feel like this could be the start of something great. I'll be sure to call you again for any future inquiries.
Oh, please. Don't. Yes, it's by being a simple, like, quite dramatic story. I thought, like, a lot of comedy is good to have. To someone, I guess. Yeah.
It's not here.
Ugh. Something I like here is how the music that plays for his phone whenever it's ringing is the music we played for the background in this montage. Have you tried unscrambling Firewall?
Oh, it worked.
It what?
Thank you, Alex.
I think that's something that might have been a bit more
Are you
clear if
coming
we
to
had
today's
like
meeting?
live action, but
Sorry,
yeah, this is like a montage that's meant to take place like over many
I'm
months
actually at another meeting
or many
right
weeks at
now.
least.
Uh, it's very important.
Oh, well,
I like this growing
have a good
relationship
time.
between Alex and Baxter, and like how originally Baxter doesn't care at all, and then eventually he starts being like, "Have a good time," and
Hey,
Alex
Baxter.
starts noticing that and
Hey,
appreciating it.
Baxter. Hey, Baxter. Hey, Baxter. Hey, Baxter. Hey, Baxter. How are you doing today, Baxter? Hi, Baxter. Hey, Baxter. How are you doing today, Baxter?
I like this blending of art styles over there. It works really well in showing the change in time, actually.
Hey, Baxter. Do you ever want to do anything more than your job? Like, don't you want to just run and hide away from
This is the
all your
point in my writing where I hit you
sometimes?
over the head with the themes. Like, this is the themes of the
Well,
short.
my work is my life. I put my all into it every day. So I suppose you could say I'm running into responsibility rather than running away from it. Though even then, I wonder if that is, in its own way, running away. Well, I have to get back to work. Speak to you tomorrow, Alex.
If you ever look at like any of my scripts or short stories that I write, I think a massive theme that I always incorporate is this idea of running away and confidence, and I mean, it's something I grapple with myself a lot of the time. So I think it's something I naturally find engaging in the media I watch, and I want to sort of inject that bit of personality of myself into my writing as well. And I think it works out really well here again because you've got that dichotomy between the two characters who are quite different, but they've got that same issue of running away. So you've got Alex who just is scared of life and is running away by hiding from it, and then you've got Baxter who's scared of failure, so he's constantly trying his hardest. And this is where you kind of see the difficulties that both have.
He's normally cold by now.
Hello?
Baxter, it's Alex. You, didn't call today. How's things?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Hey, that's not like you. What's up? Can't find your data? Did I delete a file? Oh, Claude's done something again, hasn't he? I bet, or did I do something wrong?
This is a big emotional
Because if so,
scene. I'm quite
I
proud
got
of
fired, okay?
how this was done.
It's not your fault.
I think
They just
Keenan did a really good job, and not to
didn't
toot my own horn,
want
I'm
me
pretty proud of
anymore.
my own acting here too, even though I'm not an actor.
I
But Keenan did a really
I lost my
outstanding job.
job.
I absolutely love
lost my
performance there.
everything. They promoted Claude. Claude, of all people.
Yeah, I like this idea again of
Fired
this
me.
this character at the beginning, Claude,
Just
who
wasted so
who
much money.
is doesn't, you can't take him seriously at all. He's like a joke throwaway. Claude, what an absurd guy. And then he's the one who ends up stealing the job from Baxter. Almost as though Claude's lazy, carefree attitude is more what Baxter's company is looking for than Baxter's stoic personality, which I think that adds a few layers to it. And yes, you will notice that it's Alex, Baxter, and Claude ABC. Yes, I'm smart. I'm good with writing. I'm good with
Whoa,
names.
whoa, whoa, whoa. You didn't waste anything. You're great. You're amazing. You've done more than I ever could.
I think Marley's art here really does well at expressing the character's
I don't
emotions.
even work at the company. Hell, I don't even have a job. I'm just a nobody. A shut-in. I was just having fun, wasting my time. Running away.
I know, Alex. I've known for a while. Over half the things you said made literally no sense. I just liked having someone to talk to.
Yeah. Me too.
I'd seen this coming for a while now. But I suppose I just didn't want to admit it.
I feel like I should be commenting more, but
So I
genuinely,
ran from my
I
problems
love Baxter's
until I couldn't anymore.
Keenan's acting in this so much that I
I'd
keep
given
getting engrossed every
everything
time I
for
watch
that
the
job.
scene. Even when editing, I would
I'd
always just
lost
stop and just
so
listen to his
many
takes.
relationships,
I really like it.
given all I could until I had nothing left to give. And then they just threw me away. And now,
Again, I
I
think this
have
is really
nothing.
showing like how limitations
I
of
have
not having an actual character there
no
actually
life.
helps give a lot more weight to what the character's saying, how he feels alone, and I think also just adds to Keenan's performance by the fact that something isn't there, an actual physical presence leads you to imagine the situation more. Like you don't actually know that much about Baxter, and I really enjoy that lack of clarity on what's happening on the other side. Because I talked originally with my lecturer about what we should do with Baxter as a character, and he suggested like at some point he and Alex will meet up physically, or they should go out and do things together. But I think a core part of this narrative is the fact that they're separated together. They are fundamentally they feel alone, and that is the big part of it. They're two opposite characters who have the same feeling of being alone, and when they come together, that's when they feel good. So I think it would be, I think it would go against the narrative's themes to have them meet up at any point. Although at the end, there is a small scene where we kind of lean into that a bit, and I think that's more for like narrative payoff. For that's more like satisfaction of less thematic resolution and more just narrative. You enjoy these two characters, you want to see them interact a bit more. And then there's the big scene where Alex has to actually try.
You have me.
And then we go back to this motif of grabbing the door handle. This time, Alex actually grabs it and opens the door. Originally, our cinematographer, Shannon, she was going to play a lot with lighting, and it's a real big shame that she couldn't do that because she had some great ideas about what we could do with lighting in the scenes towards the beginning and towards the end, and how small cracks of light from the window would sort of illuminate the scene depending on how the character's feeling, where they are emotionally, and as they were leaving the house, they would be enveloped in light. And she was planning on doing some really interesting things with color and lighting. And it's a real big shame that she didn't manage to finish that in the end because obviously it had to be drawn. But Shannon, she did do the thumbnail for this for the short film, and I think it came out really well. And I think that really hits the aesthetic that we were originally aiming for. So if we had more time, we could do it live action, or if we had more time to animate it, I wish she could have incorporated some of those ideas a bit more. But yeah, that's just unfortunately that's just the way the cookie crumbles. C'est la vie, unfortunately.
This is it. No more running away.
And that's the end of it. I'm very thankful for everyone who helped work on this because obviously it was very difficult. We had to go through a lot of different issues. Um, but I think this came out actually really well. I'm very proud of this piece. Um, and I think we do manage to make a pretty emotional story. Obviously, if we didn't have these limitations of of the big illness, and if we had more time and all that, and maybe more budget, we could do more with it. But considering all those, I think we did a really good job, and I'm really proud of this, and I really think it shows off uh, the best of pretty much everyone's abilities in this. I'm really proud of Keenan's acting. I'm really happy with the art and the direction, and Shannon did absolutely amazing things, especially behind the scenes. It's a shame not all of it could be seen in fruition, but the planning of this was absolutely gorgeous. And actually, I did want to show some bits of planning for this as a sort of little extra bit. So this is the pre-visual. So what we had to do for class was we had to make a trailer of some sort, but we hadn't filmed anything at this point because this was so early on. We just finalized the acting and locations, but obviously we didn't want to get everyone together just to do a small pre-visual scene. So this is the pre-visuals where it's basically an idea of the camera angles and the way one of the first scenes played out, and I'm gonna play this here now, and it's very awkward for me, I'll be honest, because it was shot in my home very quick. Um, we didn't do, it's pre-visuals. What are you gonna do? It's awkward, but here it is. And yes, that is my phone with my with my ringtone, and my ringtone. You may recognize it if you like Disney and maybe Final Fantasy. What do you want?
Oh, hello. I'm Baxter.
And yes,
In the marketing department.
that is me playing Baxter too.
Documents with you, the technical department. Who am I speaking to currently?
Alex Jenkins, but I don't work.
Well, Alex Jenkins from the technical department. I'm sorry for calling so late.
Also, I didn't realize my phone was doing this, but
You know Claude.
it's good thing I didn't accidentally text
Yeah,
someone.
great guy, love him.
Anyway, he scribbled down this number because he, and I quote, couldn't be asked to work at 1 a.m. Well, it's company time he's wasting, so I'll be sure to file a complaint against him later. Honestly, imagine choosing not to work.
Yep.
I may or may not have ordered
Imagine
takeaway
that.
the day before as well, specifically just to have some rubbish left over.
Baxter.
Whatever. Have you tried looking under, I don't know, Alvin's desk?
That is an excellent idea. Thank you very much, Alex. I'll be sure to call you again for anything.
I also thought this music would be quite
Please.
soothing to jumping into a montage, but looking at it now, it's a bit awkward.
Uh-huh.
It's not here.
It was very fun to film that, but obviously it's very early on, very awkward. And one more thing I thought I'd show off is as well, just because I think she deserves some recognition for this, is I'm gonna show off the way Shannon initially had some plans for the lighting and everything, because really was some great ideas. This is the cinematography mood board that she put together, and you can really see some really nice like depth of colors that she was hoping to get. And it is a shame that she didn't manage to get it all, but I think it would have looked really nice if she managed to put that all together. Um, yeah, it was a very good short film, and I really appreciate the effort everyone put in, and I think it managed to come out really well, and I'm very proud of the finalized product. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it too.